The SEAL team receives information that the butcher could be hiding in a specific building. They infiltrate a home across the street, but the resident and his family claim ignorance of any terror activity. The SEALs observe the building, realizing entry would be challenging, when the resident invites them to join in for a holiday meal. As they eat and chat, Kyle notices the man's son's elbows are calloused from being in the same position for long periods, a sign of a sniper. Suspicious of the man's innocence, Kyle searches the apartment and finds a stash of firearms in a hidden floor compartment. He returns to the dining table, takes the man aside, and shows him the weapons, informing him that he'll help the SEALs get into the building. They force the man to knock on the door at gunpoint. The door opens, allowing the man in, but a sniper kills the person who opened it. The man grabs the weapon and tries to fire at the SEALs, who neutralize him. The SEALs enter the building, methodically clearing each room in search of the butcher, who manages to escape through back tunnels. Between deployments, Kyle finds it difficult to adjust to life as a civilian. Loud noises startle him greatly. While his wife Taya gives birth to their second child, a daughter, Kyle visits the hospital only to become distressed when he sees his daughter crying and the nurse is occupied with another baby. Taya comments that he is missing crucial moments of their children's childhood and that she is left to create memories on her own. Kyle defends his actions, claiming that he is serving his country and protecting his family, but Taya desires for him to provide safety for them at home. In a light-hearted conversation, Biggles, a fellow SEAL, mentions that he bought an engagement ring from a local vendor to save some money. His comrades joke about its quality and possible dubious origins, but Biggles just laughs it off, saying he'll tell his girlfriend it's from Zales. But in a following battle, Mustafa shoots Biggles in the face and the team rushes him back to base for surgery. As Biggles goes under the knife, he asks Kyle to promise to deliver the engagement ring he purchased to his girlfriend no matter what happens. Fueled by a thirst for vengeance, the troops immediately head back out, but Mark is shot during the mission and presumed dead. Although badly injured, Biggles is eventually transferred to the U.S. for medical treatment. Upon returning from his third tour, Kyle finds himself struggling to reconnect with his family and adjust to civilian life. During a visit to the hospital, he meets with Biggles, who appears to be in high spirits. Biggles proudly displays his engagement ring, which he has now upgraded to a genuine Zales ring. Kyle, however, cannot understand what difficulties could arise from being married to a patriot who sacrifices everything to serve their country. Despite his wife's objections, Kyle feels drawn back to the battlefield. Taya confronts him, questioning whether he has a desire to die. She reminds him that he has fulfilled his duty and it's time for someone else to step up. She also warns him that if he leaves again, she and their children will not be here when he comes back. Despite his efforts to reconcile, Kyle deploys for another tour. While attempting to reach Taya over the phone, Kyle is unsuccessful and is directed to her voicemail. In conversation with a fellow SEAL, he learns that Biggles has passed away during a recent surgery back home. On a lookout mission, Kyle spots a man walking out onto the street carrying a grenade launcher. Without hesitation, Kyle takes the man down. The sudden noise startles a nearby child playing, causing them to run towards the weapon. Fearing that the child may pick it up, Kyle readies himself to make a shot. The child tries to lift the weapon but soon gives up, opting to run instead. Kyle watches with relief as the child runs away. Kyle and his team are informed that there is an ongoing effort to build a wall around the city, but a sniper has been hindering the process by shooting the engineers from a distance of over 1,000 yards. Despite an impending sandstorm, the team is dispatched to take out the sniper and secure the safety of the troops working on the wall construction. They make their way into the city and take up positions on a rooftop, with their sights set on the direction they believe Mustafa to be shooting from. However, Mustafa proves to be elusive, moving swiftly and shooting from a different angle, causing the death of another soldier. The SEALs are forced to quickly adjust their strategy in response to Mustafa's sudden change in tactics. Kyle is convinced that he has located Mustafa through his scope, but the rest of the team is skeptical. They have trouble accepting that he can see Mustafa from over 2,000 yards away and make an accurate shot. The team also spots numerous insurgents roaming around the building, and taking the shot could reveal their location and put them at a significant disadvantage in terms of numbers. The team leader requests backup from the base and cautions Kyle not to take any risks until reinforcements arrive. Despite this, one of the SEALs supports Kyle, urging him to go for the shot if he feels confident. Kyle takes the shot and succeeds in killing Mustafa, but the sound of the gunshot alerts the nearby insurgents, who quickly swarm the rooftop where the 4 SEALs are positioned. With no backup in sight, the men are forced to defend themselves, conserving their ammunition as they take out the terrorists one by one. As the backup team finally arrives, a sandstorm hits, making it difficult for the men to see the truck and their way to safety. Despite being shot, Kyle manages to make it back into the truck as the other 3 SEALs help pull him in. Kyle comes back to his hometown but struggles to reconnect with his family and everyday life. At a family barbecue, Taya notices that he's fixated on the TV, even though it's turned off. Kyle visits a physician who informs him of his impressive military record of having 160 kills, the highest number recorded in U.S. history. The doctor inquires if Kyle has any remorse for taking those lives, to which Kyle responds that he doesn't feel guilty about it, but rather regrets not being able to save more of his fellow American troops. Kyle has finally found his way back to his family, connecting with his wife and playing with his children. He teaches his son the importance of hunting, explaining that taking a life is a serious responsibility. He continues to support veterans and receives a request from a Marine's mother who needs help for her struggling son. Taya watches as Kyle greets the young man by his truck, but the film's final credits reveal that Chris Kyle lost his life while trying to assist the veteran. The door closes and the story of Chris Kyle's life and legacy comes to an end.